Are you eating candy on the podcast?
Yes, but guess what? No one would have known because my crinkle level was down to nothing.
Did you take all of my mints out of here?
No, I didn't do that. For those listening in, I am having a Werther's Original.
Yeah, but where are all my mints?
I don't know. You ate them all.
Maybe I do. Maybe I don't.
That's a great way to start it off.
This case should never have come to trial.
I don't think it's fair to call my clients frauds. Because one time I turned into a dog and they helped me. Thank you.
Your Honor, we would like to withdraw our plea of not guilty and enter a plea of guilty.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery, of a sham, of a mockery, of a travesty, of two mockeries, of a sham.
If we are to have faith in justice, we need only to believe in ourselves.
And the truth shall set you free!
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Oh, guilty, but with a real good excuse.
I think the truth will come forth.
You can't handle the truth!
Hello, everybody. Time for more Law Light. Brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, fwhlegal.com. We are situated today in the two-story white brick edifice at 530 Frederick Street. We are in the library/studio.
That's right.
PJ and I, no guest, no food around.
Not today.
No, and it's just because of the schedule. Man,
Yeah.
it's just been crazy.
And just so everyone knows, we make good use of every bit of those two stories
We do.
of that white brick edifice.
We do.
Unlike Bowling Green, which has way too much space.
How have you been?
How have I been?
Yeah.
Good.
Let's start
I mean,
off.
all things considered.
I understand. I understand. And we're not going to get into
Right.
just some health concerns for a family member.
Right.
Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
And that's always a concerning thing. So you're in my prayers.
I appreciate it.
Seriously. There's a few ways I want to go today here on the podcast, okay?
Okay.
Like a lot of little issues to clean up, so to speak.
Sounds good.
First, let me start with our grand celebration that we had last week.
Yeah.
A week ago today. Is that right? Last
Yeah.
Thursday?
Yeah, last Thursday.
Yeah. So for those that don't know, we had our sort of grand opening ribbon cutting at our Bowling Green, Kentucky office. It was well attended.
Yeah, it was.
It
Holy
was.
crap.
I'm not good at estimating like numbers of crowds. Like somebody will say, how many people were there? Let's you and I see if we agree. I estimated to Missy, low end 200, high end 400, somewhere in between.
I was going to say there was, based off of past events that I've put on and having an idea of what numbers are, I would say there was a solid 250 to 300 people there.
So we're sort of on the same page there.
Yeah. Because that's a big room on the second floor, and it was filled.
For those that don't know or haven't seen, first of all, PJ did an incredible job with our video, capturing the event and then reducing this 2-hour event, 2.5-hour event down to a 2-minute video. 3 minutes?
Yeah, like 3 minutes.
3-minute video. But you did a great job. Now,
Thank you.
I do have a question about the video.
Okay.
Am I correct that you didn't cut any of my speech?
Oh, no, that's the speech in its entirety. Jeff got cut.
Yeah, right. And that's what I thought.
And that other guy.
Because I came back and I told Missy, I was like, I basically laid it all out there in about 90 seconds.
It was a good speech.
And she was like, really? I was like, yeah. And I was like, I just was like, here's what you're going to get. I gave it to him and I sat down.
Yeah.
So so you didn't, I didn't think you did. When I listened to it, I was like,
No.
I don't think he cut anything out.
That is it in its entirety. I think the only thing I did was there was a couple moments where it got quiet, where you stopped talking for a second,
And you sped that up.
I just cut those
pauses.
moments out. Yeah.
But for those that don't know, we have a 2-story building in Bowling Green.
Another 2-story brick edifice.
Yes. It's not white yet. The building required a whole lot of work. Like, I wish you could have seen what it looked like when they got it.
We should have done like a time lapse.
Oh, man. Yeah. But anyhow, it is a just over 16,000 square foot building. The current use of the building is that Foreman Watson land title is taking up the first floor. Now, A significant portion of the first floor, however, is conference rooms.
Yeah, really nice conference rooms,
with
too.
Video conferencing, large flat screen televisions, beautiful furniture. All of them have like refreshment carts in them and stuff. And those conference rooms are designed to facilitate mediation, which is a project that you and I have on our agenda to begin to market our mediation center in Bowling Green, because it is set up perfectly for that, because the offices kind of go, they're not round because they're a rectangular building, but it kind of goes, you kind of go around, and there's these rooms with glass fronts that would allow for 6 different parties on the first floor. You could do 6 separate rooms with people in them for mediation.
Yeah, and they're good size rooms, too.
Oh, yeah. But land title staff takes up the other, I would say, 2/3 of the building on the first floor. And then upstairs is, on one end of the building, the offices for Foreman, Watson, Holtry. And then Jeff has his office on the second floor. There is a really nice kitchen and break room on the second floor. And then there is a wide open, what we're just kind of calling an educational area, where they can use it for, seminars. You can use it for banquets. You can use it for, I mean, it's just a big, wide open space.
Yeah, we should rent it out for people's wedding receptions.
If somebody gets married, it could be done. Anyhow, beautiful building, and we're fortunate that the Jeff and Jim, who are the principals in that building, that they have allowed the law firm to have a place to land in Bowling Green, and we're currently working on how to build a practice in Bowling Green. Holly's going to be a big part of that, and we will. We've got some other plans. Jeff and I are meeting tomorrow, in fact, about some of those plans. So it was really well done. You got to drive your car down there and park it out on the road, and then you got to see that your car had a sister. Foreman Watson land title, same vehicle, just different markups.
Not as cool looking as ours.
No, ours has a little bit more sporty.
It's got a little bit more pizzazz.
Yes.
Yeah. What I will say, probably for me, the highlight of the evening was when I got there. Jeff came up to me and he goes, "Can I get you to put the vehicles out by the road and have them kind of catty cornered to where everybody coming in can see them?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's no problem." So I go out there and I parked both the cars right up by the main sign next to the road. And ultimately, it confused people that came, and they parked around one of the vehicles.
That's right. I
and
forgot
used
you told
it
me
as
that.
Parking spots. So people coming by on the road, there was like a pickup truck on one side, and the car got boxed in. But I thought that was pretty funny, because like having the car parked there, I guess, confused
enticed other people to park there.
But that just shows, once again, it's a good sized parking lot, and that thing was so packed that
the parking lot
was
was
other places to park.
I actually think that Jim and myself, we came over from Owensboro, got in right at the hair of our chinny chin chin on the actual ribbon cutting. There was like 1 or 2 parking places left when we got there at 4, and that is a big parking lot.
Yeah, Katie came up to me after, it was like while Jeff was talking, and she came up to me, she goes, "Do you know where Travis is?" And I was like, no. She's like, "I really hope he gets here." I was like, "He'll be here. He'll be here."
Yeah, well, that would bring up the method that Jim drives.
Hey, you know?
I mean,
somebody's got to get thrown under the bus here.
Yeah. He's not a lead foot. Let's put it that way.
No.
But we got there safely.
Well, you still got there, and you're in the video.
I am, with a pink shirt.
That is it. Well, I wasn't the only one, or you weren't the only one. I was given a blue shirt, and then I spent a majority of my setup running around trying to figure out, because they kept changing locations on where things were going to happen, or they didn't know exactly where it was going to happen. And I was trying to figure out where I needed to set up the equipment, because I'm one dude with a camera for photography and video, posse, and 2, you know.
You don't have a posse.
If only I had an assistant.
Yeah, we've tried that before.
But yeah, it all worked out, and I thought the video came together pretty well. And
another thing I noticed about that their shindig we had in Bowling Green was that the food came in waves, and if I was ranking it, it went from the leastest of my favorites to the bestest of my favorites. Because by the end, we're eating barbecued pork sandwiches.
Oh yeah, the pork sandwiches were really good, but the I don't know. The hot dogs like wrapped in bacon. Did you try one of those?
No.
I don't think that was a hot dog. I don't know what it was, but it tricked me.
Let me tell you this. The very first couple things I saw, I didn't know. I was like, well, the shrimp and the rice. Did you see some of those?
I didn't have any. Yeah.
That's pretty good, I guess. But then there was like a tomato with a hunk of cheese and then it was this real minty flavored leaf, and then another vegetable, and I was like, and it was dipped in like balsamic vinegar, and I was like, can we get to something? But man, then they brought it out. The pork sandwiches. I was like, yeah, now you're talking. And the desserts were good too. I had a few of those. So that was a big day for us, and you did a great video. It's gotten a bunch of views, and so we're it was a good day. I want to next talk about the conversation that we had last time. That being a lot of information about my cousins.
Your cousins. I was going to ask about the update on that.
It just went crazy on the group text. I mean,
so they've listened then.
I will say this: I was way far off on two of my cousins, like their job. Okay, my oldest cousin Lisa, she is a microbiologist. I said she worked in a lab. I mean, that's
close enough.
Yeah, but it had nothing to do with blood.
Yeah, but you know those intellectual types.
I'm a microbiologist.
Yeah. If you don't get it's like, I didn't go to doctor school for 8 years to be called Mr.
Right.
Or right. Mrs.
So I do think she was being a little snobby. Lisa, you were being snobby. I nailed the rest of my cousins as far as what they did, other than my cousin Sarah, she used to have her own cosmetology shop, hair cutting and all that. I know she did.
Right.
And I was right about that. But she does not anymore do that. She works in the medical industry in an imaging company. They do CT scans, MRIs, ultrasounds, all kinds of things like that. And she works in scheduling and
she actually cuts people's hair as they're getting.
Yeah, right. That would be something.
They're laying there getting an MRI, and she's doing their hair.
You go in with long hair, come out with short hair, and a film.
Yeah, she has to use plastic scissors though, because otherwise those get sucked right
into the machine. But all right, so it's going to be on me to ask them when this should be scheduled. Okay. So what we're going to do right now while we're talking is I'm going to go to the cousins hotline and I'm going to put on here, I am in the middle of recording the podcast and we need to know when all of you could be available. Are you eating candy on the podcast?
Yes, but guess what? No one would have known because my crinkle level was down to nothing.
Did you take all of my mints out of here?
No, I didn't do that. I am, for those listening in, I am having a Werther's Original.
Yeah, but where are all my mints?
I don't know. You ate them all.
Oh, probably.
And they just haven't been replaced since last time.
Be available for a group call on the podcast.
Now, did you type in there?
No.
Oh, you should have done that.
So, here's the thing, though. Like, to get everybody is going to be...
We'll make it work. Were any of them hesitant?
None.
Oh, so they were all on board?
They're all on board.
Awesome.
They're all on board. I don't think my cousin Shane listens to it. He just gets the report from all the rest of them. You know,
why doesn't he listen?
Well, I think it's because he's an outdoor. The podcast is.
He can have ear pods in while he's trying to kill deer.
Yeah. These are. I mean, look, like they were sending pictures of where they work and stuff like that. I mean, it was a real. But they listened. I mean, it's crazy how.
Did any of them bring up my Trump question?
No, nobody's brought that up yet.
Okay. Well, it's because you all don't talk about that sort of thing.
No, we don't talk about that.
It'll never come up.
No, you can bring it up in our. You need to have when we know when it is. You need to have a list of some doozies. You know?
Well, I'll say this: I was talking to my mom earlier, who absolutely hates Trump, and I was like, "Man, I got to be honest with you." I said, "With the way gas prices and stuff are right now, maybe we because she was talking about a recession because of how bad things are, because Century Aluminum's about to lay off like 600 jobs and things like that. I was like, maybe we need Trump back in the White House. I mean, he said some really dumb things and was not necessarily a role model, but maybe as a businessman, things were better.
Well, we'll see, right? Yeah, we'll see.
Maybe we need a racist in the White House. I don't know.
No, come on, listen.
I'm kidding.
So back to, I'm already getting some responses. I'm getting responses
already.
Yeah,
they're quick. Some of them don't have enough to do at their job.
I'm off tomorrow and Mondays and all Mondays and Tuesdays. I replied, "Do you ever work?" So we have, and then my cousin Darren says I could pick an evening or a weekend. You tell me the time and I'll make it. So maybe we did like a late afternoon or something.
Yeah,
like
we can
that.
do that.
He's responding now, so he's an hour ahead of us. So that would, an hour behind. It's 5:30 there, so that would be easy. We could just do a late afternoon.
He's living in the future.
The cousin thing has gone well, but we do need to get him on here. You'll have a list of questions for him.
Yes,
and we'll go from there. Okay,
sounds good.
Does that sound good? All right, a few firm update things. We are Shannon is going to go work for
he who shall not be named twice.
Eminem.
But not Marshall Mathers.
Not Marshall Mathers. M and M, not Eminem. And her last day with the law firm will be July 8th. I'll go ahead and tell everybody that we have made arrangements. She worked predominantly, almost 99.9% of her work was with Chris Seyfried, for Chris Seyfried.
Yeah.
His practice was 99.9% workers' comp. We are going to be transitioning out of handling workers' compensation cases.
Oh, okay.
We are making an arrangement with another firm to take over all of our workers' comp cases, and Chris is going to kind of wrap up his practices. He's going to stay on with our firm as of counsel, which just means if he gets cases and referrals, he'll send them to us. And if he needs a place to land to handle business or something, he has this place. But he's agreed to do this, and we're going to transition out of the workers' compensation business.
So it's safe to say that I'll be contacting Suzanne and having her remove that from the website.
Suzanne will be removing workers' compensation from our website eventually. There's some details still to work out, but that's the future with regards to that. The firm is beginning to look for one new attorney to hire. Currently not looking at any new staff additions. There's the two primary focuses of the law firm as we head on into the next few months is establishing work in the Bowling Green market and bringing in a new attorney that is one of us, the way we do things. And it's really hard to find those. I have a very good lead, somebody I've now met with twice. I think we may be on to something there. So some excitement around the firm.
So the type of attorney, is it just personal injury, or is it kind of like Holly and Tyler where they do multiple different areas?
Well, with a new attorney coming out of law school, it's my opinion that they should be exposed to many different types of cases.
Gotcha.
And allow them to determine. We start to evaluate where their strengths, their weaknesses, what makes them excited, what gets like there's certain types of cases that certain people are just made for,
Right.
But I think you need to experience all of them coming out of law school, at least as many as our firm handles, and we handle an array of things, But the type of attorney that we're looking for is, I kind of describe it the way the basketball coach Rick Pitino described players that he recruited, and that was they had to have a PhD, not meaning a degree, but poor, hungry, and driven.
I thought you meant pretty hot and dope, but
Well, that could be that too. We do like to have dope people around, you know.
Pretty
that's
hot
why you
dope
and I
people.
Are here.
That's right.
But no, that's sort of what we're looking for. Somebody that's just gonna jump in, work hard, be attentive to details, want excellent results for our clients, and also believe in the mission of the firm to give back and be a part of community and things like that.
Watch out, John Bennett. They're coming for your job.
That's right. John Bennett's on the hot seat. No, just joking.
I only said that because I know he listens to this every week.
He may not just be on our hot seat. He could be on some other person's hot seat.
We were gonna have him.
I know, but you know
talk
what?
About his situation.
He walked by my office and said, "See you next week." I'm like, "Wait a minute, tomorrow's Friday. We work around here, right?" I guess not. Tyler's gone tomorrow. He's at something like Romp. Which, by the way, can I ask you about Romp? Have you ever been?
I've never been.
Okay, B is this.
Why?
No, B. It's bluegrass music. It's a lot of bluegrass type music.
Dulcimers and things.
It's all outside. Today wasn't as bad as some out there.
Right.
I walked to lunch, by the way, downtown. So
Yikes.
But, brother, have you looked at the forecast for this weekend?
Is it bad?
Oh, man, steamy. Tyler loves this. He was out there yesterday setting up his tent.
That is bizarre. He does not strike me as one who...
No, he was raised
inner city.
He's an inner city boy. It's like there's something off, like a wire got disconnected. He goes out to this romp and listens to bluegrass in 100-degree heat. And there's a lot of people. Like my daughter's coming in from out of town to attend romp. What am I missing? I guess I can't judge it if I haven't been. Maybe next year. I'm not saying this year.
I especially don't get the people that camp out leading up to it.
Okay, I've gotten 4 responses. 4 responses on the text.
Already?
Yeah. So I've got, we'll make it work, and then I've got, let me know what works for everyone else, and I will get on. Pencil it in.
Right.
And then my other cousin, me too. Just let me know. So we're 4 plus me is 5.
Those are the cousins that are currently unemployed, and you just don't realize it.
I've been lying to me about their employment. We are missing Sarah. Sarah, please come to the group text. And we are missing this is live, but maybe when she listens to it, she'll go, oh. And then we also need Shane. So those 2.
Well, he's out in a deer stand somewhere.
No, it's too hot for deer season.
He's at Romp.
He's out mowing yards, I'm sure. Before we can judge this next year, I'm not going this year. It's too hot. I'll pray next year.
I wouldn't go anyway. I don't like bluegrass music.
To go for an hour just to say we've done it, because how can you judge people if you've not been there?
Well, Steve Martin is there.
He was there last year, right?
I guess. Or was he at the Dulcimer Festival? Remember when that used to happen? I don't think they do it anymore.
This probably turned into that, or
Maybe.
that turned into this.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
thousands of people go out there.
I listen to music, but I don't know if I'm dedicated enough to music. I mean, movies are one thing because at least it's indoors where it's air conditioned or heated, depending on no matter what time of year it is.
I could go to an outdoor. In fact, I am. On July 3rd, I'm going to an outdoor concert in Nashville, and it's somebody I like to hear. I like their music. I will stand in what the weather is to listen to this guy's music. But I don't like bluegrass enough to scorch the top of my head.
Yeah.
You? I mean,
no.
You get it?
No. Okay. Well, I have those auditions this weekend anyways.
Okay.
So I'll be busy doing that.
Well, for those that like our podcast, that do like Romp, we're happy to interview you because I just want to know what the draw is to it. Is it just going out and seeing everybody and, hey, people you haven't seen in a while? I had a case that happened at Romp. Do you remember that case?
Oh, yeah. That's honestly, that's the first thing that comes to mind when I think of Romp now.
Is that case?
Yeah. Not the music, that case.
Yeah. That was a interesting case, a bad injury.
Yeah.
And we got it resolved favorably. We are going to make it back to Dee's Diner. We're sorry to Dee's Diner for doing 2 weeks straight without being there.
It's not you, it's us.
It's not you, it's us, Dee's Diner. And anybody that listens, man, go eat there. The food is great.
Yes.
It really is.
Get the ham and cheese club.
It's good.
Oh, man, it was really good. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm trying other things every time I go.
Have you had a pancake yet there?
Not yet.
Okay.
Well, I've had a pancake there before,
but not since we started.
It's a good pancake. I mean, if you like pancakes, it's like the pancake.
Okay.
It comes in a pizza box.
I know it does. I want to go this time of year when it's like hot outside to see those fans working.
I bet they do have them on.
I've never seen those fans work.
If they're not on the next time we go,
on.
well, then I'm going to believe they're just for show.
No, we're going to ask. We're going to say, your fans, Mr. and Mrs. D's Diner, have been the topic of our conversation many times, and we've never seen them in operation. So can you flip the switch to make that happen?
If there was ever a time to turn them on, now is that time.
That's right.
And if anybody wants to audition for a movie, come out Saturday and Sunday.
Where are the auditions?
The auditions are actually taking place here at the 2-story white brick edifice at 530 Frederica Street.
Wow.
Is
there something I can read? Like, is there a script?
Mm-hmm.
Where?
Well, I don't. I can email it to you. Eric has them. I'll have Eric email it to you.
What time do you select? Like one of 8 or something like that?
Well, it's based on your age range and your sex.
So do you have any middle-aged white males?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Race doesn't matter. You could be Arab, Black, Asian. Honestly, as long as you can act. Now, it will be interesting if we had an Asian in a role named Flanagan. That would be kind of funny. But we don't discriminate as long as you got the chops. I mean, now I'm not going to put you, if you're a male, I'm not going to put you in a female role and vice versa.
Well, my question is this. Do you have to have an audition script memorized?
No.
Yes.
And that surprises me every time because these are technically cold reads. We don't expect anybody to come in and have anything memorized or prepared. But, I mean, we have people who come in and we have what's called sides. It's just small portions of the script. We offer that to everybody who comes in there, and we'll have some people, they already have them with them. We'll have copies available when you come in, but some people bring their own. Some people show up and they're like, no, I don't need them. And I'm always like, are you sure? They're like, yeah, I've got it memorized. And I go, okay. And it blows me away every time.
How long is a script for audition?
Page and a half. I mean, it's really not a whole lot. It's not a whole lot of dialogue because the script itself is 115 pages.
So, in acting, it's 2, 3, 4 people interacting. The only script reading I remember was like some plays I did in middle school. Right? Mm-hmm. And it has one person talking, then the next, and then the next, and then the next. And
yeah.
How
does that work in an audition?
How does that work in an audition?
Either myself or Eric, or if we have somebody in there with us, like an assistant or whatever, they'll read against one of us, one of us three. Because really, you're not acting to us. You're acting to, because we'll have a camera set up, so that you'll act into the camera. Because then we almost always go back and review the audition.
Now, does it review some does it require some action in addition to, like, if it says, thinking intently, like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if I was like,
yes, that's part of it,
acting?
right?
Did you see that?
That's what we want, Well, and the other thing too is sometimes it's a twofer. If someone's really good, or we like what we see. Usually, someone will come in. We'll only read them once, maybe twice. Sometimes we read people multiple times, and a lot of the time it's because we either really like what we saw or we see potential there, and we want to see how well directed they can, or that they can be directed. So then we'll have them do it multiple times, and we'll give them different directions on how to go with it as we're navigating the audition. And then that shows us, how well they take direction. And sometimes it works out great. Other times the person will just read it the same exact way they did before. And it's not necessarily that it's bad, but it's like, yeah, but you're still not taking directions. So,
I feel like I've had some guidance on how to pass the test.
Well, the main thing
what
is
if I've
you can't
never
suck.
Had any acting experience? Never.
You don't need acting experience. You just need to be able to act.
Okay.
If you come in and you're like a Meryl Streep or a Tom Hanks right out of the gate, even if you don't have any experience, you're golden. If you come in and you have a fraction of Meryl Streep or Tom Hanks,
you're silver.
Yeah, you're still good because that gives us something to work with. The way I look at things is you have to start somewhere. I know some filmmakers who will not select an actor if they've never done anything before. But honestly, I like working with people that have never done anything before.
You can mold them.
Right. It gives them experience. It gets their feet wet. They're also usually the ones that are less jaded and more thirsty for...
Would you feel compelled if I showed up...
to give you a part?
Right. Would you feel like, gosh,
No.
if I don't give him a part, he may, like, you know, can my butt at work or something like
No.
that? You don't think I'd do that?
No.
You don't think I have that in my heart?
I don't think you would do that because I don't think you're that type of person. But B, I don't care who someone is. If they come in and they're not good,
You don't want them.
It's not even necessarily that I don't want them, but it only hurts the project. If you cast somebody based on nepotism or just because it's somebody who's some... Now, I will say this. If you come in and you're like, I'll give you $10,000, then we'll probably put you in a role. Because at least that puts us $10,000 closer to getting the movie made.
But see, I mean, you know, that's one of the other questions I have is, like, let's say, for instance, that I am good. Like, I don't know if I am or not. Like, you know, I have no idea.
You might be. You never know.
So, but what if I was good?
Then I would cast you in
and
the
you'd
role.
say, all right, you're in the movie. And I'd say, oh, wow, great. How much time would be expected of me? Before you answer that question, assume this. Assume that I am going to want to nail it. Like, I'm going to want to be good at it.
Right.
Like, I don't want to just, like, show up and half it, you know?
We only film on the weekends.
Okay.
So your weekends would have to be free. We schedule everything well in advance. So you know exactly what days you're needed and what weekends you're needed. Well in advance. I'm talking months in advance. When we do that, because if something happens and we have to replace you, then that gives us time to replace someone. Now we've had to replace people at the last second. I mean, I've had to
COVID.
I mean, yes, that was. But the thing with COVID though was that it shut down the production entirely. So anybody that we had to find a new, or replace was that we had that time. But I mean, I've replaced actors the day before we were going to start shooting. Wow. It's mostly ego stuff. Mostly ego stuff that pops up. But we had an actor whose family had a medical emergency, and they were supposed to come in. They were coming in from out of town, and they weren't able to do it. And we had like 3 days notice, so we had to replace that role very quickly, and we were able to do it. We have yet to not be able to replace someone in enough time, or have to put something on hold in order to replace it. Now, we'll do that if we have to. Mm-hmm. It's with anything. If you're going to do it, you need to do it right. Mm-hmm. So even if you have to push something back just a little bit, then to have the right pieces put in place, because it's all about the product in the end.
New Fear's Eve.
I
just don't know, man. I've got so many irons in the fire, but
would you be nervous to audition?
Not nervous at all.
Okay.
I've spoken in front of 4,000 people at once, and I have had to get up in some awkward situations and talk. I've talked to many juries.
There's a difference though between getting up and winging it and then having to read and look.
I can read and look and act. I mean, I've never tried acting.
Can you emote?
Is that too?
But but the thing is you're not Travis Holtree.
That's
you're
fine.
Whoever the role is.
Call me Bill. I don't care.
Now there are some actors though that they are very that's true. You've done acting on some of those videos that we've
the
ones with the apps and things. You've played some characters.
I have.
Now here's the thing: you may come in and you may be able to act, but we don't necessarily see you in the role you
picked,
auditioned for. But we put you in a different role because we think you would fit that role better. We do that all the time.
Just put me in the roles, baby.
You just want to be in the movie.
I want to be in the new movie.
We have a janitor role that's in the movie.
Oh, that's mine.
That's got a really
janitor's closet.
He gets killed. And he's kind of cannon fodder. It's a funny role, and it has one of the probably more unique deaths in the movie.
Oh. I need to think about this. I'll talk to Missy about it and say, hey, I'm thinking about auditioning for a movie. And she'll say, whatever. Yeah. I'll say, no, I seriously am. And then I'll tell her it's your movie.
And then she'll be like, okay, sure.
We'll see. I don't know if she will or not.
And we don't do sex and nudity in the movie. And now that I've kind of...
You're not kind of. You're.
Well, I was going to say kind of a man of the cloth.
No, you're a believer.
But now that I'm a believer, I went through and I took certain words out. There's other words I left in, but there's more taking names in vain type words that I removed from the script.
Good. Very good.
I took all those out.
Well, listen, let's we'll see. It's a mystery as to whether when is this weekend?
Mm-hmm. Saturday noon to 5.
Phew, I need to get ready for
Sunday noon to 4. And it's first come first serves. You come in, you have to fill out a form. And then as we come out...
What form do I fill out? Is it a release of liability or something?
Sorta, yeah. No,
Who drafted that? Do you have another lawyer that I don't know about,
Maybe.
PJ?
No, it's a form we've used since like day one.
Okay.
It's probably not airtight, but most people don't question it. So.
Does it say that you're allowed to use my name, image, and likeness and stuff like that?
No, that's the form that you fill out once you're officially a part of the... what this does is it's a form that asks questions about potential experience, any conflicts you think that might arise. It doesn't ask anything like super personal, but it's stuff that... Essentially, it's just us being able to kind of get, it's,
Well, I know how to lie on that form just to get in. So
right.
Okay.
I probably know most of that information. I can find out your schedule real easy, though. So,
all right, this is interesting. It's time to cut this one down. Thanks for the information.
No
Good
problem.
luck to you. If I don't show up, then I hope you find mega talent. And it's
thank you. Me too.
I always like hearing this stuff. So, for those that don't know, and we've talked about this many times on the podcast, there is a fine line differentiating theatrical work and that goes on in the courtroom. And we've had that discussion many times, so that's why it piques my curiosity. Thanks, and we will be back next week with more Law Lite, brought to you by Foreman Watson Holtry, fwhlegal.com. Check us out on all platforms of social media. Until next time, God bless, and hope all are well.
This case should never have come to trial.
I don't think it's fair to call my clients frauds. Because one time I turned into a dog and they helped me. Thank you.
Your Honor, we would like to withdraw our plea of not guilty and enter a plea of guilty.
This trial is a travesty. It's a travesty of a mockery of a sham, of a mockery of a travesty of two mockeries of a sham.
If we are to have faith in justice, we need only to believe in ourselves.
And the truth shall set you free!
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Oh, guilty, but with a real good excuse.
I think the truth will come forth.
You can't handle the truth!